If I could only buy one thing from each of these brands, it would be these. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and today I'm sharing with you, first of all, my top 10 favorite drugstore makeup brands, and then I'm going to be sharing with you which one standout item I would choose first from each of the brands. Today is my very first collab here on YouTube. I've teamed up with my very good friends Clara over at Beauty is Ageless and Jen over at Gen D Beauty. They are very, very special to me, and they agreed to team up with me and pick one amazing product from our 10 favorite brands. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. So as I said, I'm collaborating with Jen and Clara for this video. If you are not following those amazing ladies already, then you absolutely must. They are both based over in the US, and they bring so much to this platform. They are so incredibly genuine and honest, and do you know what? They are just absolute gems. Clara, she brings so much knowledge and experience. She is just the most beautiful person inside and out. And Jen, if you want everything that I cannot give you, so amazing, beautiful eyeshadow looks, or if you want some advice on more oilier skin, Jen is going to give you that. So please do make sure that you go and check out their channels, because I think you will fall in love with them like I have. So today we decided to split things up. I am going to do my 10 favorite drugstore makeup brands and one product from each brand. And Jen is going to do high end and Clara is going to do a mix of both. So you're getting something a little bit different from the three of us. I haven't ranked these brands in order of which are my favorite. I've decided to just put them in alphabetical order. And honestly, picking one product from each was pretty difficult, but I've done it. But there will be some honorable mentions because you know how indecisive I can be. So my first favorite drugstore makeup brand is Catrice. Catrice are one of my ride or die makeup brands. They are one of the only drugstore makeup brands that have managed to keep their prices, their costs so incredibly low, but still giving us incredible quality. Now, I could have picked 10 things from Catrice that I absolutely love, but when it boils down to it, there's one product that I know that I could recommend hand on my heart, and I would imagine the majority of people would appreciate it. It's the Catrice True Skin High Cover Concealer. So this concealer retails for about €4 or €5, which is insanely inexpensive. And this concealer, along with a lot of Catrice products, is made in Italy. And you can tell that this is just such a high quality product. So it says it in the name, this is a high coverage concealer. I would say this is a full coverage concealer, and it has a very beautiful matte finish. I think this works beautifully under my dry and mature under eyes. Now, you don't need a lot of this. This is so creamy and so blendable. This really does do an incredible job at covering darkness without being heavy or cakey. Now, as I said, you don't need a lot of this. So I feel like if you run into trouble with this concealer, it might just be because you've used too much. It's definitely a case of a little goes a really long way. Now, as I mentioned in my concealer ranking video, this did feature, but it was an honorable mention. And it's literally because, well, two reasons. Number one, the shade range is pretty poor. So I do find that even this shade that I have, which is 020 Warm Beige, it does run a little bit too yellow for me, but maybe I just need more of a neutral shade. But I think there's only about 12 shades to choose from. But when I go into the drugstore, there isn't 12 shades to choose from. There might be 4 shades to choose from. But the other reason that I didn't include it in my top 10 is because Catrice did say that they are discontinuing the True Skin line. So I didn't really want to include this, and then it became unavailable. So yes, this is definitely, I'd say it's the most popular product from Catrice, and with good reason. It really is iconic. It's an incredible concealer, and for €4 to €5, I mean, I don't know how they are doing this. How are they managing to produce such an incredible product for such a low price? I have no idea. This is still available. It's still being replenished. It's still out there. There's no shortage of it. If I was to recommend any products from Catrice, it's most definitely going to be this one. So again, we are working in alphabetical order, and my second favourite drugstore brand just happens to be Essence. Essence are the sister brand to Catrice. If you have been with me for a little while, I don't think it's going to be any shock which product I'm going to choose. And it's this product. This is the Essence Lash Without Limits Mascara. This has been such a holy grail for me for so long. And this retails for about €4. I mean, €4 for what I can only describe as one of the easiest and most straightforward everyday mascaras you can ever use. So this has a really nice flexible elastomer brush. I love it because it clings onto every single lash that I have. Now this isn't going to give me full dramatic crazy length. It's not going to give me a ton of volume either. But honestly, I only want dramatic lashes when I am going out somewhere really important. So maybe a night out, something like that, going for a meal. And I don't really do that a whole lot. So on an everyday basis, I want quick and easy makeup. And let me tell you, I don't think there's an easier mascara on the planet to apply. It literally takes me 2 seconds. Now, it definitely does dry down a little bit quicker than other mascaras, but it does the job. I don't need to go in with 2-3 coats with this mascara. 1 coat and I'm absolutely done. Every single morning when I'm about to go on the school run and I'm getting ready, I just want mascara that I don't have to concentrate on, that I can just apply literally without thinking. And it's always going to be the Essence Lash Without Limits. So I have this in the shade black, which is my go-to, but I also have it in brown as well. And that's the brown. I do think this is a true brown as well. You know, some browns you can't tell the difference between black and brown. I think this is a genuine brown mascara. Now I am aware that they have brought out a couple of versions of this mascara. I've heard pretty negative things about the waterproof version. When I first bought this from the site that I used to buy it from, they used to describe this as a tubing mascara, but I don't think it is, because now they have brought out a black tubing mascara of this, which I have ordered. But yeah, I have several of these because I don't ever want to run out. And for €4, Essence Lash Without Limits, so good. So my third favourite brand, and this is a given, it is L'Oreal. They are the biggest brand out of these 10, and for good reason. They make absolutely insane makeup. I've been wearing L'Oreal makeup for over 30 years. I think they were the very first makeup product I ever bought, which was a mascara. Would you believe that? And I still remember wearing that mascara and feeling great. I remember that so well. So yes, L'Oreal have been a firm favourite with me for years and years. So it was really hard for me to pick one standout product, and I did go back and forth, but I think in the end, it was a little bit of a no-brainer as to which product I would absolutely continue to repurchase and which product would be my ultimate favourite from the brand. And it's this one, the L'Oreal True Match Plumping Tinted Serum. So this is basically a skin tint, and you can see that I'm almost out of this now. I use this primarily in the summertime. I think it's just perfection. The cost of this product varies so much. So you can pick it up for €12, but you can also pick it up for €19. So this comes in flexible shades. So I am 3 to 4 light medium, and this is a skin tint which is infused with 1% hyaluronic acid, and it's designed to be a skincare based skin tint. So it's designed to give you hydration, and honestly, it's one of the most silky, beautiful, blendable formulas that I have ever used. So if I'm just after some really light coverage, I will go in with this, but this is quite a buildable product as well. So I like to apply this with a brush, and it really just feels stunning when you apply this. It just blends so effortlessly, and it just gives me the most natural finish. Now, before I bought this, I did think that it would give me like kind of a dewy and glowy look. And honestly, no, I feel like it just gives me a super natural finish. I do think that there is obviously radiance to it, but you know, it's just really natural and it never looks makeupy, it doesn't look heavy, and honestly, I would choose this over higher end skin tints. There is another L'Oreal foundation that I've used for years, and it's the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation. Don't ask me where the cap is. That seems to have gone awry. Don't know what I've done with it. So I've used this for years, and it has that amazing technology where it basically matches to your skin tone. So it has like this hyaluronic acid in there. I would say that it has quite a natural finish as well. I think that it gives more coverage than the skin tint does. Basically just boils down to which one have I been reaching for the most recently, and yeah, it's just always going to be this. So the next brand on my favourites list is, of course, Maybelline. I absolutely love this brand. I truly do. Obviously, again, they are owned by L'Oreal, but they are a brand, again, that I've used since I was 12 years old. So we're talking 30 years. And there are very few Maybelline products that I do not hand on heart love. So I did really have to sit down and think about this, because I could have chosen so many products, so many products. I think that they do the complexion really, really well. And the products that they've been releasing recently, top tier. But there's one product that stands out to me that I didn't think I would love, but that I just fell in love with. And it's this one. It's another foundation, but this is the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte Foundation. This is absolutely stunning, and it's actually the foundation that I have on today. And you know, I always surprise myself when I talk about this foundation, because on paper, it shouldn't be something that I like. Number one, I have dry skin, and number two, I hate a matte finish on my face. I just don't find it flattering. This is a bit of sorcery. Yes, a bit of sorcery. So it is a Lumi matte. It is not a flat matte on my skin. This foundation retails for about €16, and I have it in the shade 128, and I don't think I could get a better shade than 128. It really is fantastic. Now, I would describe this as a medium to full coverage foundation, because I think you can build it up. I like to keep it at a medium, because I think that if you did over apply this, it could probably get too heavy. Well, I guess it's the same with any complexion product, really. And so this claims to give a luminous matte finish, and that is so incredibly accurate. It is a soft matte finish. It is a finish that I wouldn't normally go for. But you know why I think I like this? Because obviously it does give that luminosity. So it's definitely not flat. It doesn't look dry. It doesn't look heavy or cakey. It basically looks like my face after I've used one of my favorite foundations, but I've used a bit of powder. This literally does the powdering for me, but not in a heavy way, because if it did, I would absolutely hate it. One of the major things that I love about this is the blurring quality of it. The blurring across my pores is really beautiful. I often just can't get over the fact that this is a drugstore foundation, that it costs €16, because if you were to blind test this against some high-end luxury Lumi matte foundations, you would absolutely not know that this was drugstore. There's no way. And the longevity of it, as you would expect, is incredible. It claims to be a 30-hour wear. I mean, I'm obviously not wearing my makeup for 30 hours, but it will last me all day and I will have no issues with it. It truly is one of my top foundations of all time. And on paper, it absolutely shouldn't be. But yes, if I was to pick one product only from Maybelline, it would have to be this. So the next brand on my list is Morphe. Morphe have been the brand that have bowled me over this year especially, and they've become a brand that I'd kind of lost a lot of respect for, but I have returned to them, and wow, some of the products that they have made have completely blown me away. And I really struggled to pick, and I've gone back and forth, but I had to think, like, logically, what is really their best product? And I've tried so much from the brand, nearly everything at this stage. I think I would have to pick the eyeshadow palettes. And I think the reason that I'm going for these is because I didn't use Morphe for a very, very long time, since their big palette makeup days. Do you remember those days? The big, huge eyeshadow palettes? Do you remember them? Oh my gosh, like, seriously, did we ever need this many eyeshadows that were not good? They were not good, as you can see. I dipped into them, but I didn't really use them because they were not the best, okay? This Morphe that you used to know, the Morphe from 10 years ago, they don't exist anymore. Now, I'm not sure that Morphe have different owners, but I know that they have switched around their management and they've made some massive changes. And It's paid off. It really has. There are so many eyeshadow palettes to choose from. You can choose £12, £6. But if I was to recommend any to you, I would say these Chroma plus £12 palettes are insanely amazing. Now, these are my favorite too. So this one is the one that I've got on my eyes today, which is Flickering Sands, and it really is so beautiful. Now, I would happily go in with any of these mattes just all over the lid and be done with it, and it would make a perfect one and done. Any of these single shimmers or metallics in here would make an incredible one and done. Now you can go back through my videos if you want to see these swatched, applied, etc. I have included them in many videos. And this palette, this is Rose Frequency, more neutral, maybe leaning slightly cooler in some of the shades. Just gorgeous. I cannot speak highly enough of them. And also the packaging is really beautiful. It's really sturdy. You get an incredible mirror as well. Probably the best mirror I've ever had in an eyeshadow palette. Yeah, if I was to tell you to buy one product that I think the majority of people would love, it would definitely be the eyeshadows. However, I absolutely have to give a shout out to these blushes. These are the Cheek Thrills Blush Trios. These are probably my favorite product of 2025. I'm absolutely in love with them, and it is what I am wearing on my cheeks today. I have almost hit pan on this cream shadow here. This is the shade Blind Date, and it's just the most perfect neutral pink. And these come with a powder and they come with a highlighter balm as well. Just gorgeous. But if I could, it would be a joint. It would be a joint first, but I know that's really cheating, and I know Clara and Jen wouldn't let me do that. But yes, if you're going to check out anything from Morphe, the new eyeshadows, do it. So the next drugstore brand that I have chosen on my favourites list is actually Number 7. Now, Number 7 are a brand that I used to use when I was younger, so as a teenager. But for some reason, I moved away from the brand and I would choose other drugstore makeup or higher end makeup over Number 7. But in the last year, I have gone back to Number 7 and oh my gosh, I have been so impressed. This is a little bit of a tease to one of my future videos in the next week or so, where I'm going to be bringing you another full face of Number 7 makeup, because I've been testing out quite a bit from the brand recently. Individually, they look like they are pricey, and they seem to be pricey. You can always get Number 7 discounted. Now, I did cover Number 7 recently in a video where I was looking at their Pro Artist range. This is a new range from the brand, which is basically higher quality makeup. And the only thing I'll say is the selection of shades is pretty small. And when I did that video, the products had not yet arrived in the US, but the majority of the products have arrived now. So I will make sure I link the product that I'm going to talk about. There's one product, and I have to talk about it because I've been dying to talk about it, that has completely knocked my socks off. It's this blush. This is the Number 7 Pro Artist Luxe Liquid Blush. I am not joking when I say that this is probably one of the best liquid blushes I've ever used. Okay, and that's saying something, because although I have a bit of an obsession with cream blushes right now, okay, it's all I'm buying. It used to be liquid, and I still love liquid, but I'm just in my cream blush era right now. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is this? It is absolutely stunning. This product retails for around about €16, but you can absolutely get this discounted. So this claims to be a lightweight, silky smooth blush, blending beautifully and effortlessly for a soft flush of colour. Now, I think there are only maybe 3 shades to choose from, which is the big negative with this. I have the shade Taupe, and there is a pink and there is a coral. I really hope they extend the shade range. Now, I don't have it on today because I've got the Morphe on, and because I didn't think this shade would particularly go with my makeup today. However, oh my gosh, let me tell you about this product. So first of all, extremely pigmented, so you do not need a lot of this. Well, depending on how much you want to wear. I like to wear a lot of blush, so I was expecting this to be kind of glowy, which would be my preference. However, I don't find it to be glowy. I find this I shouldn't like this really because the finish that it gives is not glowy, which I like from my blushes. I would say that this is more of a soft focus bordering on soft matte finish, and I love it. It kind of feels whipped. That's how I would describe this blush. It feels like absolute velvet. I just wish they had more shades because there'll be lots of people watching this that'll be like, well, none of those shades will suit me. So that's the biggest negative. But if you can find your shade, you will love this. It really is everything. So the next brand on my list is NYX. I love so many things from the brand. So as you all know, the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer is just so incredibly top tier. And that really should be my number one product from NYX. But going back to how I'm choosing my products today, I really had to think about which product I use the most out of all of their products and which ones I would reach for possibly on a daily basis. And there's one NYX product that I reach for every single day, so it would be weird if I didn't choose it. It's this one. So it's the NYX Crazy Lift Brow Glue. My gosh, I love this stuff. I use it every single day of my life. And as you can see, I have used it and used it and used it. So the NYX Crazy Lift retails for about €13. I find it a bit of a struggle when it comes to brow holding products, mainly because I don't have many brow hairs. And so when I search for a brow holding product, I want something that's going to cling on to everything that's there to give me the illusion of fuller brows. And honestly, this gives it to me. Now, sometimes when I think I found a product, there will be a con to it. So it maybe won't hold my few brow hairs in place, or it will leave a white cast on my eyebrows. This, it's perfect. It really is. Well, it's almost perfect. I'll tell you the one thing I don't like about it is the actual applicator. So I know it's handy to have it all in one, but I'd rather dip in and use kind of a spoolie to apply it to my eyebrows, because I feel like there probably are times when I waste product because I'll squeeze too much out. And yeah, I don't know. I wish they would change the packaging a bit so that it was easier to use in that sense. But look, I absolutely adore the NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer. It's one of the best concealers on the whole planet. It really is. And so I definitely want to give that the honourable mention that it deserves. And I talk about this in a recent video of mine where I rank my top concealers, and that was my number one drugstore concealer. But this is the one NYX product that I use every day of my life. So for that reason, it's my number one product. And oh, I could not be without this ever, ever, ever. So the next brand on my favourites list is Revlon. Revlon are iconic, and they are another brand that I have grown up with, and I like so many products from the brand. They just don't always have a massive range in the drugstore here like they do over in the US. Now, if I was to pick one product from the brand that would stand out above them all, it's the lipsticks, the super lustrous lipsticks. Oh my goodness, these are incredible. So obviously I'm wearing one of them today, which is the shade Whiskey Business. So this is one of the cream lipsticks. So these retail anywhere between €6 to €10. They are creamy, they are opaque, they last beautifully, they are flattering, they are vibrant, they come in the most beautiful array of shades, whether you want something every day, whether you want something a little bit more bold, Revlon will provide you with that. I've had this lipstick on for hours now, and it's the most comfortable thing you can put on your lips, honestly. Revlon really do lead the way when it comes to lipsticks at the drugstore, in my opinion. I genuinely believe that if you blind tested one of the Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks next to a high-end luxury lipstick, you would probably choose the Revlon as the luxury option. I have tried lipsticks from every single drugstore makeup brand, and although there are amazing ones to find, none of them hold a candle to the Revlon. Honestly, I don't think you can ever beat Revlon for their lipsticks. So yes, if you've never tried a Revlon lipstick, oh my gosh, you must. They are incredible. So the next brand on my list is Rimmel. Now, Rimmel are a brand obviously that I have used for decades as well, and they are much bigger over here in Europe than they would be over in the US. But genuinely, they have such underrated products. And I did struggle actually to choose one product that I love more than the rest. And again, I kind of had to boil it down to which product I used more than any other. And it's actually this eyeliner. Now, this is the Rimmel Scandalise Waterproof Kohl Kajal eyeliner. Now, I don't use an eyeliner kind of to do wings and things like that. But when I'm going somewhere where I want to have maybe a little bit of a smokier eye look and I don't want to go to a lot of effort, I will literally line my upper waterline, so just at the top. And this is the only eyeliner that will stay in place. I have never found an eyeliner that will stay in my top waterline apart from this one. This literally does not budge. So obviously I have this in the shade black. Now you can pick this up for as little as €3. And this had to be my number one Rimmel product because it's my most used Rimmel product. However, I do want to say that I want to give an honourable mention to another product, and it's this Multitasker Better Than Filters. So I have this in the shade light. Now this is, oh my gosh, this is an absolutely beautiful product. So I'll just swatch it on my hand here. Feels beautiful, by the way, every time you apply it. So I guess you would call this a glow booster. Once you blend that out fully, look, it just looks so incredibly natural. Now, I didn't put it on under my foundation today because I've got the Lumi matte on and because I've got a bit of a rosacea outbreak on my cheeks today, which is nice. This retails for about 15 or 16 euros, and you know, the primary purpose of this is to use it as that primer, that glow booster under your foundation. But you can also use this on the high points of your face. You can use it as a highlighter. You can use it on the top of your nose. You can use it anywhere you want. I think it's an absolutely incredible product and so underrated. So we are on to the final brand, and that is Wet n Wild. So Wet n Wild are definitely a newer brand to me, so one that I've only been using for the past few years, I would say. But my gosh, they have completely blown me away with the quality of some of their products. So I think it's a bit of a no-brainer as to which product I'm going to choose from Wet n Wild, and it's my favorite drugstore powder. This is the Wet n Wild Loose Setting Powder, but it is the soft pink. It has to be the soft pink because I don't really like the original. So this is part of the Photo Focus range from Wet n Wild. So they do lots of different products within this bracket. And I didn't really like the original Photo Focus powder, but they have come out with this soft pink and it has different ingredients. And this one is actually talc free. So this retails for anywhere between 6 to 9 euros. And this is just so nice. It blurs, it brightens, and it sets. I love how this minimizes the shine, especially under my eyes, without being cakey. It doesn't sit into my lines. It just remains looking smooth and keeps my concealer there all day. And you get an absolute ton of products too. So you get 20 grams, which is a lot, especially because the drugstore keep taking product away from us, but keeping the prices the same or even increasing them. So I really am grateful for that. Now, a lot of people have actually come to tell me that the new Catrice powder, the Bright and Blur, which I have ordered, is actually better than this one. So don't worry, I'm going to be testing that out, and I'm happy to get an alternative to this as well. But until something knocks this off the top spot, this is always going to be my favorite drugstore loose powder. I chose that because I use it on a regular basis, but there are a couple of other complexion products that I absolutely have to share with you from Wet n Wild because they are holy grails to me. So the first one is this one, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. This is one of the most high-end feeling foundations you'll ever use, and for about 6 euros. It's dewy, it's hydrated, it's perfect for mature skin, and this, I will stand by the fact that it's a dupe for the Armani Luminous Silk. Just insanely good. And the other complexion product from Wet n Wild is the Tinted Hydrator. This is absolutely insane. This is more of, I would say, a light to medium foundation, but it's ridiculously beautiful and it doesn't contain denatured alcohol like a lot of drugstore skin tints can. But I had to give a little shout out to those two because they are so beautiful. So look, if you have not tried anything from Wet n Wild, give them a whirl. They produce some of the most high-end feeling items at the drugstore. So there we go. They are my top 10-ish picks from my top drugstore makeup brands. I really hope that you were doing this along with me. It would be really fun to hear some of your answers. And obviously a massive thank you to Clara and Jen for collaborating with me on this video. I appreciate you ladies so much. You are amazing human beings and I'm so blessed to have found you on this platform. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.